Welcome to this enchanting audiobook adventure, where stories come to life. Join Hedgehog and Puppy Dog on a delightful journey that combines storytelling with vocabulary enhancement exercises. So, sit back, relax, and let your imagination roam as we dive into their world, offering an enjoyable experience for all. Get ready to embark on an adventure that will spark your curiosity and language skills. Okay, let's begin. Hedgehog and Puppy Dog by Ruth Manning-Sanders. Chapter 10. Vocabulary. Reap. To harvest or to cut a crop, typically using a tool like a sickle or a reaper. Snatch. To grab or seize something suddenly and forcefully. Vanish. To disappear suddenly from sight, to become invisible. Dwarf. Referring to small, imaginary creatures often depicted in folklore as resembling small humans. Jerkins. A type of short, close-fitting jacket or sleeveless coat. Reaper. A machine or person that cuts and gathers crops such as grain. Virtuously. In a virtuous or morally upright manner. Chuckle. To laugh softly or to oneself. Cap. A head covering typically with a brim and crown. Vengeance. The desire for revenge, retaliation for a perceived wrong. Chapter 10. The Dwarf's Cap. On a fine autumn morning, Puppy Dog took a stroll up to the cornfield where the farmer had been reaping the corn. Now the farmer had gone home to his dinner and left old Tozer, the farm dog, to guard the reaper. Well, of course the reaper didn't need any guarding, it wasn't likely to run away. But the farmer was rather strict with his dogs, and to stay on guard was one of their most important duties. Old Tozer was hungry. "Puppy Dog," he said, "would you be very kind and stay here and guard the reaper whilst I go for my dinner?" So, then Puppy Dog sat down by the reaper and old Tozer trotted off. The sun was hot. Puppy Dog felt sleepy. "One can stay on guard just as well with one's eyes shut as with them open," he said to himself. "And if I have a little snooze, what of it? If a thief should come to steal the reaper, he couldn't do it without making a noise. And if the reaper did make a noise, I should certainly wake up." So, Puppy Dog sighed happily, shut his eyes, and slept. He was wakened by the sound of laughter. He opened his eyes. What did he see? He saw a crowd of little dwarfs, no bigger, nay not so big, as Puppy Dog himself. They were dressed in yellow jerkins, and they had green caps which they were tossing up and catching on their toes, and then kicking onto their heads again, and then snatching off their heads once more, and tossing up and kicking, and so onto their heads again and again. And the strange part of the whole affair was that when the caps were not on their heads, Puppy Dog could see those little dwarfs plainly enough. But as soon as the caps were on their heads, the dwarfs vanished. "As tarnish-ing," said Puppy Dog. "If only I had a cap like that, what fun. Well, why shouldn't I have a cap like that?" he thought. And one of the caps happening to fall onto the ground close beside him, he snatched it up with his teeth, gave it a swing, and got it, though somewhat crookedly, onto his head. Now he couldn't see his paws, and when he turned round to look over his back, he couldn't see his back or his tail, or any part of him. Yes, the cap had made him invisible. The little dwarf was looking everywhere for Cap. But Puppy Dog wasn't going to give it back to him, not he. "When I find a treasure, I keep a treasure," said Puppy Dog to himself. And when old dog Tozer came back, and all the rest of the dwarfs put on their caps and vanished, the poor little capless dwarf ran to hide himself under the hedge. He was shedding tears, was that little dwarf. Puppy Dog felt rather sorry for him, but not sorry enough to give him back his cap. "Finding's keeping," said Puppy Dog to himself. Old dog Tozer looked about him. No Puppy Dog. Old dog Tozer gave a sharp bark. Still no Puppy Dog. "Well, I suppose the little rascal went home," thought old dog Tozer. Puppy Dog felt tempted to surprise old Tozer, to catch hold of Towzer's tail perhaps and give it a tug. But what if the cap were to fall off? It didn't fit Puppy Dog's head very securely. And if the cap did fall off, Just when Puppy Dog had hold of Towser's tail, well then, of course, there would be trouble. "I think I'll go and scare Hedgehog," said Puppy Dog to himself. "Yes, that's what I'll do." So, with the cap still on his head, off with him out of the field, and up the hill to where Hedgehog was sitting. "Bo!" said Puppy Dog, creeping close to Hedgehog and shouting in her ear. "Bo! Bo! Bo!" Hedgehog scrambled to her feet and looked about her. She wasn't so much scared as angry. Puppy Dog had to jump back quickly, or she would have given him a sharp nip with her teeth. "Did you think it was a ghost?" he said, taking off the cap so that she could see him. "You nearly bit your dear friend Puppy Dog. Serve you right if I had," said Hedgehog. "Where did you get that cap?" "From a little teeny weeny dwarf," said Puppy Dog. "Did he give you the cap?" said Hedgehog. No, not exactly," said Puppy Dog. Well, it fell in my way, so I picked it up." "You stole it," cried Hedgehog. "Oh no, no such thing," said Puppy Dog. "Picking up isn't stealing." "I should like to know the difference then," said Hedgehog. "You go back at once, do you hear? And put that cap down in exactly the place from where you picked it up." "No," said Puppy Dog. "I don't want to do that." "You'll do as I say," said Hedgehog, "or I'll never speak to you again." Hedgehog wasn't often angry with Puppy Dog. But when she was with a vengeance. There was nothing for Puppy Dog to do but to obey her. So, wearing the cap once more, he went sulkily enough back to the field. And there he shook the cap off his head, and laid it down by the hedge, where the little capless dwarf still sat and cried. "Here, take your silly cap," said Puppy Dog. "I don't want it." In an instant the little dwarf snatched up his cap, put it on his head, and vanished. "Hello, you rascal," said old dog Towser, catching sight of Puppy Dog. "I thought you'd gone home." "Oh no," said Puppy Dog virtuously, "I was only taking a walk round behind the hedge, on the lookout for lurking thieves." "Did you find any?" chuckled old Towser. "Just one," said Puppy Dog. "And I soon chased him off." That evening Hedgehog and Puppy Dog were chatting together in the lane when they heard a cautious tippity-tip of little feet coming towards them. The sound of the little feet came closer and closer. And all of a sudden there appeared a little dwarf, cap in hand and bowing low. "Madam Hedgehog," said the little dwarf in his little shrill voice. "I have to thank you for the return of my cap. From this time and forever, all of us dwarfs are your true friends. We will guard you day and night, and I can promise you that no prowling enemy shall ever come near to do you harm." Then with another low bow, the little dwarf his cap back on his head and disappeared. Hedgehog waited until the sound of his footsteps had died away. Then she said, with a smile, "Of course he meant well. But he ought to know that I'm quite capable of looking after myself without the help of a handful of dwarfs." Read the sentences below and find the correct answer. 1. The mischievous child tried to blank the toy from the store shelf. 2. In the blink of an eye, the magician made the rabbit blank from the hat. 3. The fantasy novel featured an adventure with a friendly blank character. 4. Despite being treated unfairly, Kate responded blank and with kindness. 5. The farmer used a tool called a blank to harvest the crops. Chapter 11. Vocabulary. Dangle, to hang or swing loosely. Hollow, to make something hollow or empty by removing the inside. Scramble, to move or climb hurriedly and with difficulty. Swing, to move or cause to move back and forth or from side to side. Nibble, to take small bites or gentle bites. Sink, to gradually descend or go below the surface, often of water. Waddle, to walk with short steps while moving the body from side to side. Furious, extremely angry or intense. Plug, to block or seal a hole or gap to prevent something from escaping. Leap, to jump or spring quickly and energetically. Chapter 11. The Pumpkin Boat. One day Puppy Dog went out for a run. He went up over the top of the hill. Now he was out of sight of all the world. A little stream was pattering its way down the hill to join the river that flowed, brightly gleaming, in the valley below. The day was hot, and Puppy Dog was thirsty. He jumped into the stream and had a good drink. Then he lay down and let the water flow over him. Ah, that was better. Now he felt fit for anything. He set off down the hill at a run, stopping now and then to crouch and growl, pretending he was a great fierce bear, or perhaps even a lion. Gah, 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 growled Puppy Dog. Here comes the man-eater, the gobbler up of everything, the angry, hungry, fierce big lion. And he came to the bottom of the hill, where the little stream lost itself in the placid waters of a leisurely flowing river. Hello. Company on the riverbank, cat, duck, rat, and hedgehog. Good morning cat, good morning duck, good morning rat, good morning hedgehog. Good morning, Puppy Dog. You seem busy about something, cat, duck, rat and hedgehog. So we are, very busy. See this great big pumpkin here? It fell off a passing cart. We've been hollowing it out to make it into a boat. And now we're going for a sail down the river. Oh, can I come with you, cat, duck, rat, and hedgehog? Yes, if you like, Puppy Dog, said Duck. But there must be no quarreling, said she, looking anxiously at Cat, whose fur had begun to bristle at sight of Puppy Dog. What day is it? Said Puppy Dog. Friday, said Duck. Well, that settles it, said Puppy Dog. Nobody quarrels on a Friday. So, they all scrambled into the pumpkin boat and sailed away down the river. Cat was steersman. She sat in the stern, dangling a long willow branch over the side of the pumpkin. Puppy Dog stood in the bow, pretending to see enemies on the wooded banks, lions, tigers, wolves, and growling fiercely. Hedgehog was humming to herself. Duck was waddling to and fro, making the pumpkin rock rather dangerously. Quack, quack, quack. How delightful this is, said Duck. And Rat? What was Rat doing? He was so quiet that everyone had forgotten about him. But if they had listened very hard, they might have heard a little sound of nibbling. For Rat hadn't had any breakfast, he was hungry, and the taste of the pumpkin was delicious. Yes, Rat was breakfasting off the pumpkin. Soon he had a hole in the bottom of it. And through that hole the water was coming in. Too late his comrades realized the danger. The water filled the pumpkin boat, and the boat began to sink. Rat leaped out and swam away. Cat, bristling with rage, leaped out and swam after Rat. Duck spread her wings and flew up onto a willow tree. Puppy Dog was growling furiously, now ordering the boat to stop sinking, now trying to plug the hole with one of his paws. Then Hedgehog rolled herself into a ball and tried to stop up the hole. But the water was up to the brim of the pumpkin, there was nothing for it. Puppy Dog took Hedgehog on his back, scrambled overboard, and swam ashore. And next time I meet Rat, said Puppy Dog, as he reached the riverbank, put Hedgehog down, and shook off the water drops in all directions, I'll swing that fool of a rat up by the scruff of his neck, and shake him, and shake him, and shake him. Read the sentences below and find the correct answer. 1. The child watched the shiny object, blank, from the tree branch. 2. She used a cork to, blank, the hole in the bottle. 3. After the woodpecker's work, the tree was left, blank, inside. 4. The children giggled as they took turns on the tire, blank, in the backyard. 5. The mouse decided to, blank, on the cheese cautiously. In wrapping up our audiobook journey with Hedgehog and Puppy Dog, I hope you've enjoyed the mix of entertainment and learning. Stories like these fuel creativity and offer a chance to improve language skills. Keep exploring the vast world of literature, where each book holds unique discoveries and new words. Language is a powerful tool for countless adventures. Thanks for joining on this journey. I hope you've had a great time expanding your vocabulary. Until our next audiobook adventure, happy reading and listening.